factory executives in Detroit, Stuttgart, and Tokyo quietly holding emergency meetings right now. Not in public, not in press releases, behind closed doors, with lawyers and engineers, and people who rarely sit in the same room. Because on March 29, 2026, China opened the world's first fully automated humanoid robot production line, capable of building 10,000 robots a year. And the price tag on these machines just broke every rule Western manufacturers believed was permanent. $13,500. That is what a Chinese humanoid robot costs today. The American equivalent? $75,000. And it does less. This isn't just an engineering story. What is happening inside China's robot factories right now is the exposure of a 30-year monopoly. And the people who built it are running out of time. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this changes everything. For 3 decades, industrial robotics was owned by a very small club, ABB, KUKA, Fanuc, Boston Dynamics, Western and Japanese companies that set the price, set the timeline, and had absolutely zero pressure to do either differently. Boston Dynamics spent over $1 billion in funding before it shipped a single commercial product. Their flagship humanoid robot, Atlas, exists primarily as a research demonstration. Their commercially available robot dog, Spot, runs $75,000 per unit. For most manufacturers, especially in developing markets, that price didn't just seem high, it was completely unreachable. So the global factory floor stayed the same. Humans doing repetitive, dangerous, physically demanding work, because the robots that could replace them cost more than a house. Most people assumed this would change slowly, gradually, over a generation. The incumbents were comfortable. The timeline was theirs to control. That calculus just collapsed. And the country that collapsed, it wasn't a Silicon Valley startup. It wasn't a European engineering giant. It was a company most people in the West had never heard of, operating out of Hangzhou, China. But that's not the whole story. Then something shifted. In 2024, a Chinese robotics company called Unitree released a humanoid robot called the G1. It could walk, climb stairs, handle objects, operate in unstructured environments, the kinds of spaces that earlier generations of industrial robots completely failed in. The price, $16,000. The Western robotics world shrugged. Probably cheap quality. Probably not safe for industrial use. You get what you pay for. Then, a year later, Unitree released an entry-level version. $6,000. Let that sink in. $6,000 for a walking, thinking, working humanoid machine. That is less than a used car, but Unitree was not alone. Agibot, backed by some of China's most aggressive tech investors, priced their humanoid at $14,000. Fourier Intelligence entered the market. UB Tech scaled production. The field wasn't just growing, it was flooding. And then, on March 29, 2026, something happened that no Western robotics executive had prepared for. China opened the world's first fully automated humanoid robot manufacturing line in Foshan City, Guangdong Province. Annual capacity, 10,000 units. The robots are now building the robots. But here's what most people missed. This wasn't a prototype facility. This wasn't a ribbon cutting for something operational in 18 months. This was a commercial-scale production line. Day 1. Fully operational. The age of humanoid robot mass production didn't start with a press release. It started with a factory floor. But that's not the whole story. Because the question everyone is asking, how did they build a $13,000 humanoid robot when the best American version costs $75,000, has 3 answers, and none of them are accidents. What they discovered next caught even the engineers off guard. Here's where it gets revolutionary. Advantage 1, the patent machine. Morgan Stanley published a report that most people in the West completely ignored. According to their analysis, over the past 5 years, China filed more than 7,700 humanoid robot patents. 7,700. The United States filed a fraction of that number. Patents aren't just legal protection. They're proof of engineering velocity. Every patent represents a problem someone identified, worked on, and solved. When you file 7,700 patents, you're not just protecting ideas. You're building a wall of institutional knowledge that your competitors have to go around. But wait, it gets worse. Advantage 2, vertical integration. Here's the hidden math that makes the $13,500 price possible. A humanoid robot needs actuators, the motors that move its joints, sensors, batteries, processors, vision systems. In the United States, those components come from dozens of suppliers across multiple countries, each with their own margin. Every handoff adds cost. Every intermediary takes a cut. In China, those same components are made domestically, often by subsidiaries of the same company building the robot. Unitree doesn't just assemble robots. They control significant portions of their own supply chain. The markup disappears because the middlemen disappear. That is not a small efficiency gain. That is a structural cost advantage that Western manufacturers cannot close without rebuilding their entire supplier ecosystem from scratch. And Advantage 3 might be the most damaging of all. Advantage 3, scale without legacy. Boston Dynamics has been building robots since 1992. That is 34 years of institutional inertia, 34 years of sunk costs in existing designs, existing manufacturing processes, existing investor expectations. When you've spent 3 decades telling investors that your robot is worth $75,000, it is extraordinarily difficult to then say, actually, we're selling it for $15,000 now. Your margins collapse. Your valuation model breaks. Unitree was founded in 2016. They had no legacy to protect. They built for 2025, not for 1995. And that head start and flexibility is worth more than any single patent. And this is where the Western incumbents made their fatal mistake. When the first Unitree G1 videos hit the internet in 2024, the Western robotics industry had one response: dismissal. The quality won't hold up. It's not safe for industrial environments. You get what you pay for. These weren't random comments. These were talking points from executives at established firms, companies with billions in valuation and decades of brand equity to protect. Then the third-party tests started coming in: engineers in Europe, researchers in the United States, manufacturing consultants across Southeast Asia. They ran Unitree units through real-world scenarios, and the reviews were not what the incumbents had predicted. The robots worked. For the tasks most factories actually need: picking, sorting, assembly, repetitive motion, they performed at a level that was, frankly, commercially viable. By early 2026, the conversation inside Western manufacturing had quietly shifted. Not publicly, not in press releases, but in private briefings, the question had changed. It was no longer, "This won't work." It was, "What do we do about this?" But here's what most people are completely missing. This is not a technology story. It is an economic story, and the math is becoming very hard to ignore. The average manufacturing worker in the United States earns approximately $22 per hour. Factor in benefits, insurance, sick days, and turnover. You are looking at a total labor cost closer to $35 per hour. Over a 40-hour work week, 52 weeks a year, that is roughly $72,000 per worker per year. A Unitree G1 costs $13,500. It doesn't call in sick, it doesn't need health insurance, it doesn't take a lunch break, it doesn't file for overtime. It works 24 hours a day. The robot pays for itself in less than 3 months. Most people have no idea this is already happening. Morgan Stanley updated their forecast. Chinese humanoid robot sales were expected to grow 133% in 2025 alone, reaching 28,000 units shipped that year. For context, the entire global humanoid robot market barely existed 2 years before that. And by 2036, Morgan Stanley projects more than 25 million humanoid robots operating worldwide. China currently accounts for 54% of all industrial robot installations globally. They have 7,700 patents in this space. They just opened a factory producing 10,000 units per year. And that is one factory in one city. The $500 billion global manufacturing automation industry is not being disrupted gradually. It is being repriced from the bottom up, and the company doing it is headquartered in Hangzhou, not Houston. So what does this actually mean for manufacturers, for workers, for entire economies? The optimistic view is genuinely compelling. Cheaper robots mean cheaper goods. If a factory can automate for $13,000 instead of $75,000, the cost savings can eventually reach the consumer. Products get cheaper. Supply chains get more resilient. The manufacturing jobs get replaced by higher skill positions: robot maintenance, robot programming, robot deployment, robot fleet management. A $13,500 robot doesn't just eliminate a job. In the right hands, it creates an industry. But here is the harder view, and it is one that many people in positions of power are not yet willing to say out loud. The countries and companies that don't adapt to this price shift will simply be priced out of manufacturing entirely. Not because someone beat them on quality, not because someone beat them on innovation, because someone beat them on math. The US government's response was predictable: tariffs, import restrictions, discussions about protecting domestic robotics capacity. But tariffs don't close a $61,500 price gap. They slow it down, they add friction, they don't fix the underlying math. For 3 decades, the cost of a humanoid robot was a wall that kept small manufacturers, developing economies, and mid-sized factories on the outside. A wall that protected Western and Japanese incumbents, Not because they were better, but because they were cheaper than the alternative of automation. That wall just came down, not slowly, not after a decade of warning signs. It came down on March 29, 2026, in a factory in Foshan City, where robots were assembling other robots, at a price point that rewrites every financial model that assumed human labor was the only affordable option at scale. Do you think the United States and Europe can close this gap? Or has China already locked in a lead that is impossible to overcome? Drop your answer below. I read every comment. The executives holding emergency meetings in Detroit and Stuttgart and Tokyo right now aren't panicking about a product launch. They're panicking because the game they've been playing for 30 years, the game where high prices were a moat and patents were a fortress, just changed rules entirely. And the new rules were written in Mandarin. The robot revolution isn't a prediction anymore. It is a production line in Foshan City, running right now, shipping 10,000 units a year, at a price that makes every old business model built on expensive automation look dangerously fragile. The only question left is who adapts fast enough to use it, and who waits too long to realize the game has already changed. If this opened your eyes to what is actually happening on the global factory floor right now, hit subscribe. This channel covers exactly these stories, the shifts in technology and economics moving faster than the headlines can keep up with. The next video is already waiting, covering what else is being quietly built in China, Japan, and South Korea that the West hasn't fully processed yet. Don't miss it.